And we're back. Back for power hour to see if we get power hour or shower hour. Market has tried to push up and still rejecting that level. I told you guys on SPX if we couldn't break out that box, there was no calls or puts, but we did get a break out of the box briefly and down to that target area. We broke that 67.38, and the 67.25 would have been a good put position if you were scalping. Now it looks like SPX might try to make another move. It's in between the range again, so buyers can come up. We usually see a 80 to 90% chance for buyers to come in late in the day and kind of pop this up $10 or $15. So let's see if we get that today, or will it take another nosedive down? Um, it's a little tricky because we got push up inside of this gap, so it's definitely doable to see $10 or $15 back to the upside. Right up to this level of support. Probably not VWAP. It will take a strong volume candle over the next 20 minutes for us to get back to VWAP, but that would be like the upper target. Mine would probably be closer to the mid range of this gap box that I created. So right now I'm just watching to see. Really not thinking about SPY this late in the day. I just don't see it getting a big move, but I could be wrong. But we're gonna play it out again. This is our end of day power hour, sour hour. See what kind of setup we get. Excuse me. Right now, I'd be looking at 67.30, 67.25 to the downside, and 67.40 up to maybe 67.50 to the upside. Very tight, very close, because you don't want to get caught. Excuse me, too far out this late, and theta will eat you up. If I'm looking at puts, I'd be looking at 672 puts on SPY and 673 for the calls. Could possibly go 674, but that's still a little risky to be out of the money this early. So again, I'm gonna give it about 20 minutes. Let's get to 230, 245 ish area. That gets us closer to the trading range. But let's see how things are playing out. Again, if you missed the first episode, we did the morning $100 before lunch. A couple of people made a generous amount before lunch, and I love to see it. So we're back to see what we can grab during Power Hour. As I mentioned before, a handsome donor uh, contributed to the stock market mentorship. So I am taking another 250 off of the one-on-one mentorship. It's usually 2,000 for the Black Friday. It's 1,500, and now with this donation, I'm taking another 250 off, making it 1,250 for the 8 week mentorship, and it's, I mean, way affordable. Once we hit 2026, those one-on-one mentorships will get reduced to just two per month, and then I'll just be focused on my group members and having their one-on-ones, and then my repeat clients that are already on mentorship following up their program. So that's what we're in for now. Again, it's just the first two people. You see my email scrolling across the top. If you want to take advantage of that sponsorship with that additional 250 off of the one-on-one mentorship, just shoot me an email. We can hop on a call. I'll get those pay links over to you if you want to pay it in full and not touch your credit. You could do Zelle or Cash App. But those who do need a payment plan, you can use Afterpay or Klarna to split those payments up. This might be a little sour in the beginning. That's why I try to come on not quite at two, to give it some time because it's gonna stagnate before we see a move. But again, we can wait and see setups. Once we start to see one of those breaks, like we were looking for a break earlier in a particular setup, once we got that, it was time to take action. So I walked through the earlier play on SPY because I do believe I left the arrows up. Again, we could not. Here's the hold of support and close above here. There was no need for me to take a call until I got that set up. We did not. So the bearish setup did present. So a break of the structure, any break of the structure here could have caught a scalp down for the puts. Now this is looking more bullish. It's looking more bearish on SPX, but looking very bullish on SPY. Well, I'll say more bullish. But again, I have another moving average here. I want to see a close above these before I take anything because there's a buying order here. There's a selling order there. I just don't see it. It's going to be a chop back and forth, so we don't have to struggle. We're going to wait for the setup. Where y'all checking in from? Are y'all looking at anything for power hour? It's not my usual setup. Again, these are doing power hour plays are a bit risky, but I do want to show you guys how to break it down, how I look at it, and how you can make, if you're a 9 to 5 worker, how you can come into the market late in the day and still be able to capitalize. So again, drop in the comments. Let me know where you're checking in from, what tickers you're looking at. I know most of the people who watch me are looking at IWM or SPY, and a few SPX. And I have some new students. They're using my strategy to trade gold. So once I show you how to really tackle the chart, it's easy to take this across multiple markets. You're going to be good at options. You're going to be good at forex. You're going to be good at futures because it's still a chart. A chart is a chart. Once you know that, you are good to go. All right, we're seeing a little bit of push up on SPY, SPX. There we go. Like I said, okay, so we're looking at IWM. So let's take a look at IWM and see. Yep, I stay very close on IWM. If I get anything, it would be 248 call, 249, nothing crazy. 250 will be a sharp shot in the dark, but it does have resistance right there. I would just be more comfortable this late in the day, just staying close to the money at 248 and 249. Let's check and see how much those contracts are. So again, uh, call side, yeah, you don't want to be down in the dumps. We're going right in the money, 248. Just take the $20. Don't go out here to 249. And then if you're looking at puts, you're looking at 247, 248. 247 is a stretch, but right here, just stay at that 248 for puts or calls. Don't make it too crazy or hard on yourself. I like those. Which is just right here. It's indecisive. You could actually do a hedge, take both and see which one starts to print, cut the loser. I'm not big on hedging, but that is an opportunity of a trade that you could take. I'm not in IWM. I was going over it because Brandon's looking at it, but I'm not in anything right now. I'm just kind of taking a look. I like to do the late in the day play, closer to 230, between 230 and 245. Let the weight of the market kind of pick a direction, flush out those late day contracts. So once those get closed out, then we can go from there. No need to let it ride with our capital. Oh, we got a little bit of pullback. So again, that's why I say stay in close to that money at 648 puts or 648 calls. Right. If SPY closes below 272 on the 5, is that a good entry for a put? Let's take a look. Let me for SPY, yeah, hmm, yeah, we're at on SPY we're under 273. I'd really want it to come down 272.50 because it's still teetering this line. It could easily pop up or drop. So I'd wait a few more minutes for confirmation. But if we see that close, it does give us more confirmation. It's just sitting there on the MA. Got 7 more minutes. See how it's we're wicking to the upside, but this late in the day, it can be very, very tricky. I can see that sell order block there. We saw this level We saw this level of support. Now, this was support on SPX. We dropped below it at the end, found support here. So I'm going to come back in with another level. I'm not taking the complete wick. I just want to be right here. We I know the low is there, but just seeing it again, I want to be in once it if it starts to fall. You want to get out right here and not where the buyers pop in, because this late in the day, it could flash drop and then pop and it'll kill all your premium. If you're already green on today, definitely don't try to risk it, or don't risk more than half of your profit. See how we're coming down? We're coming down into that sale order. Let's look at those contracts. I didn't add anything to the watch list. I kind of forgot. But let's look at our watch list and add something for SPX if I don't already have anything. Again, if you held the puts from this morning all day, those are still green. The 674 is negative. The 672 is negative, but the the 678s and 676s are still green if you held them all day. I don't recommend holding zero DTs all day at all. Definitely take profit and then you can get back in. These are gonna these are gonna be looking more like 6730 puts on SPX. And those are pricey. They're 350, 370. And the 6720 is 100. Again, but these can jump really fast with those drops. You're just going to see a drop, get in, get out, take the profit 50%. You can easily go in, set your sell order for 50% and be out. And I like those late in the day. I mean, if you got quick hands and you're using I if you're using Webull, or you have what are those it's not quick key. If you're on Turbo and you have different, you just shortcut keys where you can buy and sell real quick. That's super. Or again, just go in, buy the contract, and then immediately put it for sale for 50 or 100%, and just wait for it to drop. I was a little late coming on because I was trying to make my own soap. So I've been watching the videos on making your own detergent for your clothes. I got all the stuff, and I just needed to like boil and let it sit. So I'm gonna try it out, see how long it lasts me. You start using it at the beginning of the year. And it didn't take much. Like I got a lot of the mixture, and I kept a couple of my old detergent bottles so I could store it in there. So we're gonna see how it does for our skin, how it does for our clothes. Again, you can see SPY teetering at that support line. As I said, I wanted it to 672.50. Let that break for a continuation down. Again, my lower low target would be 670, but that's like super risky. So I would really look at 671. But these can make, mean drops. Let's look at the in the money we were looking at the 678s on IWM. So that one's looking good. Let's go to SPY and look at those puts. So if you're at 672, again, this is 3 cents. We're not doing that. You can get this $28, 672, hold that thing, ride it, put it in for 100%. I would like that one. So if you're looking at put 672 for puts, 673 for calls. It's late in the day, so don't do this in Robinhood. Is going to close you out at 245 if it's not profitable, but just know that that's a little risky doing it over there. Webull is much safer. Webull and Thinkorswim. If we're going SPX puts, again, I wouldn't go further than 715 because you need this to drop. Like this has to go 6730, 6725. This has to start dropping, or this contract is just going to go straight to zero. If you go to the calls at right in the money, 6735, 6730, but they are a little bit pricey and it's more skewed toward the upside. They don't want people to get these calls, so it may get a pop to the upside because they know you're going to want to go with the more affordable contract. So going back over, if we're looking for a little pop on SPX, we may get a pop on SPY. So let's take a look at that call. Even though the 672 put, we got that one. 673 is going to be 54 again. It's a little bit more skewed to the call side because they would want you to get the more affordable one. But again, 673 just go right in the money, 20-30%, and get out the way. Okay, we're on the 230. Let's see if we get a major move in this minute. What are you all looking at? Drop some ones if you can hear me and this is making sense. If you're in a play, let me know. Yes, they're naked. I just teach people how to trade calls, inputs, no credit or debit spreads. It's a little bit more advanced for people to me, when they're just getting their feet wet. And we're still sitting on that line. Again, I want a close above or below 272.50 to give me confirmation from one side to the other. If you just wanted to get, just a few bucks, that put was printing, but it's on the line. This is indecisive. I need a close above or below. You don't have to be early. You don't have to be first. For sure. Thank you for stopping in. Spy, what are you in? Are you in a zero DTE, or are you in a you have a one or two DTE, and what strike? Golden Queen. See, I said where I wanted my confirmation. Let me see that 272.50 close below that for more continuation to the downside. But we are gonna have a weak low here. We could see buyers coming in. Sometimes I drop down to the one and see if I see an order block sitting there. I don't see anything crazy. But if this drops again, you got about $1 down. That the 67.20 put for IWM is up 47%. That was a $95 contract. Oh, it dropped back down to 24%. So 24 and 26 for the 67.30 and the 67.20 on IWM. Those contracts are going to move really fast. I've used RSI, but it's not I like looking at my levels more than I pay attention to RSI inside of my Webull app, but not really on my main trading view chart. And you see we're bouncing off that level again. We tested the week low and it bounced. So if we want puts and we want a continuation, it would need to come and test and break that week low. Will buyers come in end of day again? There's usually a 80-90% chance we get that little end of day pop. Market's been selling down all day. Will buyers want to come in and try to boost some morale? But it's pretty late. They've struggled all day to push. Let's see if they try to take a final push up. And remember my phrase, it's easier to come down the mountain than to go up. Like they have to fight to get this back up off of these levels to the downside because there's some strong selling. It's easier for this to just sail down. People are going to be comfortable buying lower. They're not going to be so keen on buying higher, very much so this late in the day. Okay, zero DTE, gotcha. What's your take profit and stop loss? Every time you take a trade, and this is what I've been trying to reiterate with one of my students, they'll take a trade. It'll be great. but they don't know in their head what's going to be their stop loss and take profit. They just getting in and it's like, I just want to make some money, or they want to make a lot of money, but they don't really have a number set, a percentage set. Every time you take a trade, you should know, okay, where am I going to exit? What's going to be enough for me? Now, if you're just greedy, I understand, but even in greed, you got to know when your belly hurt. Like, you got to know when to take it. Like it's time to stop, when it's time to get out and take that profit. If the tomorrow's data drop is significant, maybe SPY will touch 700 by Friday in the day. It's got to be super significant. But I will tell you guys, I've watched when data drops and when we have FOMC meetings, and when we push down hard before news or data, I usually look for us to get a pop the next day. If we run up the days before news or economic data comes out, I usually look for it to be a drop. It's kind of a cushion to the alternative move. So we've pressed down for the last 3 or 4 days. I would be more bullish for tomorrow. 700 by tomorrow is pretty steep because we're down. If we were holding 680, I would be more prone to think about it. But it's just, I mean, and then again, we can move. If buyers want to buy, they're going to buy. Push them back down again. Still sitting on that line. Put contracts are picking up, but every minute that it doesn't move, that's gonna be like another $5 you're not getting on your SPX contract. Every hike up, that's another $5 or $10 that you're losing on your contract as it pushes back in the opposite direction. So again, that's why I like to wait closer to the end. Let's get over 230. Let's let it have a full confirmation before it gets a pop up. The safer contracts today are going to be SPY, but again, you could stay in the money on the puts for SPX at 67.30, 67.25, and 67.20. The 67.20 and 67.30 are both on my watch list right now. Let's add a SPY contract. And I'm just putting this on my watch list. I'm not taking it. So the 72 put is $38, and the 71 is 15. Nothing too crazy. And if you don't have any patience, definitely check your setting, put your bar count down on, so you're not like, okay, how much longer, or is this going to pop right here? You got 2 more minutes in this candle for it to print, so you don't have to be hasty to jump into a play. It really needs to break this low or it's going to pop up. Are there more buyers sitting right there? We keep wicking. They got to take them out. Um, who's that? Yep. But back to Golden Queen. What's your TP? What's your stop loss? Yeah, that little break of structure pop back out. Now we're gonna get one or two things. This is gonna break down 671. We can, well, three things. We could consolidate here to the end of the day and do nothing. We could get a pop right up here to about 673.28, or we get a drop down to 671. We got those three things that could happen. SPY resistance at 672.2. Got a little, I see more of support there. 672.2 is more of support. Well, It's not resistance right here. It's been popping up from right there. It just doesn't want to drop. This is when I be wanting to be in a put, and then it just and it knife and have it knife down. I hate when it's just this freaking slow. We got 17 more seconds in this candle. It just teaches you some patience. Gotta have patience out here. If you're gonna trade options and you don't have patience, just go on to something else. Go trade something fast like futures and forex or something. You gotta have a little bit of patience over here in the options market. You just do. Let's see if it's gonna test 672 even or pop back up to 672.50. Looking like it's finding some buyers. Now it's getting back up to 672.50. So you got about 22 cent to 50 cent. They start selling again. So this really, if this is gonna go down, sellers will have to come down below 672.22. Looks like they want to pop up though. Is there enough volume? But again, like I say, 80 to 90% of the time, end of day, we see these pops and drops. You just have to be on the right side. It's still indecisive, not over that moving average. So a close above 67.50 looks more promising to the upside. If it doesn't hold that, back to the downside. 3 more minutes in this candle. Oh, I got you. You got it because you're in the put. All right. Wish you might want to cut that put. We're going to hit some resistance right here. Let me know if it's hit your stop loss. It's coming back down slightly. They're trying to edge up, but it seems still very bearish. But then those end of day pops do come in. Yeah, it's looking like they're going to hit that little sell zone, but they could push through it easily. It's been down all day. They might want to pick it back up. Can't buy after 340 on Webull. Yeah, you can't buy. But that would be people who are still in. You can still get the next day's contract. But this is a little wishy-washy. But like the theory of us being down so much today that we'll probably be up tomorrow looks promising. Let's take a look at a few contracts. Let's go to tomorrow's call contract. They're probably going to be more expensive because they don't want us on that side. But yeah, 670, 680. Like just for crazies, you could get this contract right here, a 680 call, swing it. Yeah, is it 50-50 lotto play of if we open up high due to the news. I don't see us doing 700 tomorrow, but we can look at the 700s for Friday, but that's a bit of a ways off in contract. Yeah, I wouldn't go past 690. But for tomorrow, those contracts look promising. Let's see if Bull's going to be able to take out that little selling area. It's been a struggle for them all day. Okay, we got buyers in there. They're gonna push them up. The sellers about to take them out. They took over that whole candle. Buyers was trying to push up in that whole candle. Now we got another 5 minute candle and see if bears are gonna come in and wipe them out in this next 5 minutes. Now the SPY contracts you can't buy after that, but on Robinhood you can still get into SPX. Again, the 67.30, 67.25, and 67.20. Those 67.20s were $100. They're $30 now, and that's just the grace of being waiting a few minutes to take these contracts and get instead of getting early, because it'll wipe out your premium really fast. Let's see what XPX looks like. Again, when I'm on SPX, I like to drop to a 1 minute just so I can see the action, and you can see on the 1 minute there is a buy block. So again, this could be a sharp drop, but they got to push through that zone. But they may have some buyers sitting there. And we can see last minute candles. Like you can look at end of the day, those last 1 minute candles kind of like be sharp. Again, look at that. That was a $10 move and just that little pump there. 4 seconds left in that candle. Are they gonna push? There it is. You're gonna push it now. And so again, looking at the contracts for the call side on SPY, was just like you could go easy and do something crazy. Well, I won't say crazy, but more of a lotto play if you're up today. We're taking like a 680 for tomorrow. I think that's what I said. It's $35. You want to come something more conservative? Just go in the money at 673, 675. But again, they beat this down all today. They beat it down. We come up on the daily, and let's just take everything off. Hot off. Again, best thing. So 4 days. Are they ready to get some buying back in here? It's possible. Same thing with SPY. We've had 4 days of selling down. Are they ready to kind of recover here? Might not be support to 668. But nothing about this is telling me it has bullish sentiment just yet. Let's put some. Let's actually add. Oh, I want to add drawings, and then let's put an auto field on. So to the upside, it's doable. We got more room. 675 and then 681. But again, if you're gonna get this late in the day contract, just wait till we see like what's gonna play out. We don't have to like jump right in. Just see what the market wants to provide. It needs to push up. It's holding 62.50. It may try for it. We got 10 more minutes. It's probably gonna be a pop up. You're looking at 67.40 or 67.45, and then on SPY just 673, and then done. I'm gonna give this one sour. This one was not Wasn't popping like our usual end of day. A little boring. It's just chop chop. We didn't get our full drop. We still got 11 more minutes, but I'm still gonna label it as a little sour. We didn't get it before 3:30 for Eastern time, or before 2:30. So it's kind of sour today. What do y'all give it? Drop power or sour? What do y'all think today for the market? Was it power? Was power hour power or sour? And now they take the steam right back out again. That's why I say if we're getting a play, we can just wait to the last minute. We don't have to jump into anything because they're going to try to trip us up. They're going to try to get that premium up out of us. Still pushing down, but the puts are not printing on. I'm watching the SPX contracts. They're moving slightly, but if it moves back up, it loses all of its premium. Like the 63. Let me go back to my watch list so I can see what the price of it is. Yeah, the 67.30 is barely. When I added it, it was 325. It's 288. It might get to break even, but any little pop, it's not happening. There we go. I finally saw positive $10. Let's see if we get that drop now. There you go. You tried to push down, and just like that, I saw positive $10 on the SPX put, $10, $20, and now it's back down negative 47. Like those wicks can be horrible, and that's why I say when I'm over here, I want the 1 minute so I can see. You can see when it's moving. Take your profit down here before that thing starts wicking back up, and just like that, it's back. Like I'm literally watching the contract. It's pretty cool to watch. But that contract went from like negative 57 to like now positive 40. But in that wick, it can move up or down. That's some crazy work. Now it's positive $5. Like that's crazy. The moves that you will see inside of these contracts for SPA. And now it's gonna go negative. The buying back up. Now it's negative $27. Just that quick. So again, playing late in the day on these zero DTEs, gotta be careful, gotta be quick to the draw, or you're gonna lose your money. Again, now this contract is negative $90, negative 30. Just like if you're not quick or you have your stop loss set, I will say if you're doing SPX this late in the day, just kill that stop. Like you got to get good, paper trade it until you get comfortable. Because if you put a stop on it, it's going to hit your stop. It's going to hit your stop. They want to hit your stop so they can take that money and go right back to the entry. So this went negative 90%. It is now up 50%, 185. End of day dropping. That's how quick they do these things. 180, just that fast. You're in a $325 contract. It's up over 60% for $200, and we just been looking at this for like since about here. Now that's how you do an end of day play. I might have to regroup every time I call power hour sour. They come back and say, "Nah, nah, nah, don't talk about us like that." So I labeled it as power, and it still had 6 more minutes. That's still some power right there. So I'm gonna take it back and say that it was not sour and say that this was a power hour. I just left my put. Of course, when I leave it, it crashes down. I'm still over 20 in the green. Yeah, that's what happens when you give it. When you give up, it starts to drop, and like it's waiting on you to close and possibly try to hop back in and do something, or people that still holding on. But yeah, it start popping back up. But this contract may go 100% on the SPX side. On the put side, did they even go back? Again, the theta on the spy push just kind of eats it up, and they don't usually kind of recover that well. But in the last 5 minutes, oh, let's see, the contracts on at 210. I mean, we wouldn't have been able to get in, but the 672 push for $13, and now they're 64. So a $13 contract up to $64. Like that's crazy work late in the day, and SPX is still falling into that range. So that those contracts went. So that was what, a $95 contract on the 6720 and a 300 contract on 6730, over 100%, almost 200. It's up $530. So that put contract right here is crazy work. Let's go to SPX and look at that. The 6710s, they might be zero. I mean, again, when you're too far out the money, you don't get that premium move. What was that? 6730. Why are these looking so different? SPXW. I'm looking at the contract. These are not the same prices. We got 4 more minutes, but these are not the prices. Like, I don't know why. I don't know if it's moving too fast, but I'm seeing this at 160% return over $500. We see the put on spy printing. Like I said, we wanted to stay close. 671, nothing more than that. I'm gonna put this back so we can see it on my regular chart, so y'all can see the lower level that I had drawn for the target. There's that 6710. So that was my lower target here for SPY. And we had the contracts on looking at for SPX. But again, I take it back. I called it sour. I'm gonna say it's gonna be power. I'm still thinking about those call contracts for tomorrow. It's down 25% now. It's $27. Because we might get a pop at the end of the day. But again, we can close and open spy contracts for tomorrow, 14 minutes after. So let's just see how it closes out. Does it want to start to recover? Just left. Damn, I'm not going. I'm not going. The market I re-enter the put is going to go back up. That's so true. No stock loss. SPX 77 went from 25. You see that, like, that is such crazy work. 25 cents to 350. Like, that's why I say when you get in these late day contracts, just go back in and hit a sale. Just go get a sale for 100%. Like, you're bound to hit it. Like, it's crazy work watching these contracts. But I've been back testing these positions for quite some time to see it, and knowing like, okay, 80, we got an 80 to 90% chance to get these major drops toward the end of the day. You can't really capitalize on it in Spy because it's going to close you out unless you're in a different broker. But if you're doing a one DTE, it shows well. Like, that was just crazy work right there. If I stay, I would close to 100, but a green day is green day. It definitely is. You definitely would have got that 100%. Queen, where does Golden Queen? Did you get profit or did you close? Did it close you out? I know you had the 673s and the 672s, so those should have printed. Let me know if you got profit on those, or did you close out before it started to drop? Got 2 more minutes. Let's see if XPX is going to hover on down, or they're going to start buying back up in SPX. 67. See if we get 6720. Are they gonna buy it back up? Let's drop down on the one. There's dropping. There's a 6720. There's the buyers. So they tried to push it up in the day. It's gonna be done. Little volume, little buy volume coming in, but they couldn't push it. Still headed down. Let's see what SPY does. SPY got some buyers that are gonna get 67.50. 1 minute to close. They're gonna run it. You got to get through those buyers, though. I mean, sorry, this sell block, they got to push. But again, selling down this for these many days, it might want some relief tomorrow. Bulls are gonna want to eat. Bears have ate every day. So bulls are gonna want to eat. They may come strong tomorrow. So it's a 50-50. But market is closed. Let's see what we get tomorrow. Another day, another dollar. We survived it. But thank you guys for checking in. Again, I'm going to try to get a schedule together so that you guys can be aware of when I'm coming on to trade live. I'm going to continue this series of make $100 before lunch. Then we're going to probably skip over to making $1,000 before lunch. Different variations of that. Am I streaming tomorrow? Let me actually check my calendar. Excuse me. I have a doctor's appointment. I know I won't be on Power Hour tomorrow. I may be on in the morning, but definitely not power hour. I have an appointment and I'll be probably wrapping up the appointment at 2 and I'll be on the go. I'll be in my car and everything. So, like, yeah, I don't want to sit and kind of do a power hour in the car for another hour after leaving the audiologist. But yeah, I might be on in the morning to do some morning trades. I'm not going to guarantee it, but I know I won't be on for power hour tomorrow. We'll be back on Friday. I got a little bit my favorite is the last 10 minutes. It definitely is like it's just it's mind blowing what the last like 10-15 minutes of the market can do and do for your pockets if you don't have a lot of time to trade. So definitely we can see this pop up. Let's go into extended hours for trading. On TradingView, you can go into extended hours. You can see here's the close and it's already popping back up after the close. I don't know how much that'll hold. I we went over 100%. Yes, I think yesterday, the day before, we're over 100% ATR today, and definitely within $7 moves tomorrow. We could see 672s to 680s, maybe 681. That's definitely within range on a recovery day tomorrow. So keep that range in mind if I don't pop on. But just pay attention to the ATR. We went over $9 today, so just mark out. Okay, what's the close? The close is 671. Plus $9 puts us at 680. If we go lower $9, we're looking at 662. So those will be the contracts I'd be looking into and ranging out for tomorrow of what plays I would like to, what plays I'd be looking to take. If y'all got any questions, let me know. But we're gonna get on up out of here. I appreciate y'all tapping in with me. We're gonna keep trading, keep pulling up, live trading together, walking through these plays. Let's get everybody trained up and trading. Again, I'm still taking suggested names for the community. I want us to have a community name. People were saying Chaz Charters, Nine to Gone. It was a couple of different names for options, but if y'all got names suggestions, post them on the community wall, drop them on the videos, take some time. There's not that many videos up, but they're very informational in live trading. Go back and watch those videos, like them, comment, just go back and say, hey, you watched the replay. Play them, get some. If you got some out of it, share it out. So I appreciate everybody here. I'll give you guys about 2 more minutes and then I'll get up out of here. I got a 4 o'clock consult. I got to get out the way. I think that's it, y'all. Y'all have a good one. We got 2 minutes. I know the comments lag for a minute. So let the comments lag, and then at 3:05 I'm out of here. If y'all don't have any questions, comments left. All right, guys. One more minute. Final call. I appreciate everybody for showing up again. Like, share. It really helps the algorithm to push me out so more people can find me, more people can trade with us, and just get educated on the markets. I mean, we're in here. It's easy money to make. So I appreciate all y'all support. Thank you so much. And y'all have a good one. Be safe.